Hey, Claude Pelanne here, Affiliate Starting Line. Welcome. This is going to be a video about the Google Panda slap. That's what I'll call it. Google has an algorithm, in case you don't know it, and it is constantly changing that algorithm, going after certain features to make sure that, and sites to make sure that the search results it returns to people using Google are relevant and answer their questions. In other words, more appropriately answer whatever they're searching for and get them to the information they want. So, how do you find out what's going on with Google? Well, you go to the official Google Webmaster Central blog. So there it is right there. And you click on it. Now it'll come back and open up the major Google Central blog. There it is right here. And this is, this gives you the news from the point of view of the people who are actually creating this algorithm about what they're up to. Now, most recently, as was pointed out by Ed Dale, among others, there was a change called a Panda algorithm change. And what the Panda algorithm change tried to do is find more high-quality sites in search. So here's what they say. Our goal is simple: to give people the most relevant answers to their queries as quickly as possible. So timing and relevance. That requires constant tuning of our algorithms, and both good and bad comes from all the stuff online. And then they go in here to explain that they had instituted a change. We launched a pretty big algorithmic improvement, a change that impacts about 12% of our queries. And then it talked about getting rid of sites that they consider to be low quality. And what do they mean by low value? Well, they copy content from other websites. They're just not very useful. That's kind of an interesting term, what's useful and what isn't. At the same time, it provides better rankings for higher quality sites and so on. So you read this. But more specifically, a little about the 6th of May, they put out a list of what they were looking for in sites that have quality. And that's what you should be paying attention to. So they compare and repeat. In recent months, we focused on helping people find higher quality sites. They mentioned that the Panda algorithm change. And then they said, well, what counts as a high quality site? That's the logical question. And then what they do is, you can read this about how they came about it, but here are 23 different points and one recommendation down here that you should pay attention to. And so these are the things that they consider important in a high-quality site. Would you trust the information presented in this article? This is all about article writing, by the way. Is this article written by an expert or an enthusiast who knows the topic well, and is it more shallow in nature? Does the site have duplicate, overlapping, redundant articles on similar topics with slightly different keyword variations? This applies to those of us who do niche sites and take keywords and do variations of the same keyword by just spinning the article a little bit, and etc. So they really don't like that. Does this article have spelling, stylistic, or factual errors? You got to know, you got to write grammatically correctly and know what know what the language you're writing in. Are the topics driven by genuine interests of the readers of the site, or does the site content create content to guess what might rank well in search engines? So don't write for the search engines, write for your viewers or your readers. Does the article provide original content? Is this an original article, or is this a spun article? Is it original reporting, research, analysis? They want you to write your own material. Does the page provide substantial value when compared to other pages in the search results? So the other sites appearing on page 1 along with you, giving better results, or are you the best? How much quality control is done on the content? So how diligent are you about creating good content? Does the article describe both sides of a story? If the story has two sides, do you give the pros and cons? Is the site a recognized authority on its topic? So does everybody know this site because it's got a lot of followers, maybe backlinks, or it just has a great reputation? Is the content mass-produced or outsourced to a large number of creators or spread across a large number of sites so individuals' pages don't get as much attention? This has to do with the article directories and eHow, some of these sites that were creating, that hire thousands of writers, etc. I don't always agree with this because I've used those sites and they've given me very relevant information. Was the article well edited? Does it appear sloppy? Or this goes back again to writing good copy. For a health-related query, if you're doing in health, would you trust this information from this site? Trustworthiness. Would you recognize this site as an authoritative source when mentioned by name? Again, does that site have a brand recognition? Does this article provide complete and comprehensive description of the topic? Is this an intelligently drawn piece of information? Does the article contain insightful analysis or interesting information that's beyond the obvious? This again goes to talking to the depth of thought development in the article. Is this the sort of page you want to bookmark, share with a friend, or recommend? Does this article have excessive amount of ads? So if there are too many ads and it looks like spam, you're not going to do too well. Would you expect to see this article in a printed magazine? Now they want you to be a professional publisher. Are the articles short, unsubstantial, or otherwise lacking in specific helpful information? So you don't want short articles. You want to make sure they're substantial, and you want to make sure they have very specific information. Are the pages produced with great care and attention to detail versus this? Again, we're going back again to editing and making sure that there's work that's been put into the quality of what you produced. And would users complain when they see pages from this site? Well, I guess the bounce rate would tell you that. So anyway, there's 23 different points that you should pay attention to when you're creating information or creating a website. Then down here, they also come up with another very interesting point that you have to be aware of. One other specific piece of guidance we've offered is that low quality content on some parts of a website can impact the whole site's rankings and thus so you better remove low quality pages, merging or improving the content, etc., etc. So that's very important because in my blog, I'm going to have to go back in and get rid of some of these posts that I may have been doing when I first started out and may be considered to be low quality. So you want to check out your entire site to make sure that some portions of it are not bringing down your page rank. So this is what Google has to offer that you should pay attention to. And you can see here the Google Webmaster Central blog, and in particular, the May 6 More Guidance on Building Quality Websites. This is something that has not been mentioned very much by a lot of people who supposedly follow what's going on, but it gives you some very specific points to follow, and one certainly very important guidance about making sure that all the content on your site is quality. And I would urge you to go take a look at this. And that's it. I hope this has been helpful. This is Claude Pelanne at Affiliate Starting Line. Stay with it. Let me get to the back top here. Stay well, and check out the Google Webmaster Central blog. That's it. Take care.